also one of Shakespeare's favorites.
What?
Shipwrecks. The twins are called Viola and Sebastian. And again, they're identical. Don't ask us to explain how a girl and a boy could be identical twins.
Viola gets washed up onto the coast of Olivia, where she quickly discovers that being female in a strange land is not to her best interest.
You know how in Elizabethan times, right there with the... In Elizabethan times, there were the mercymen considered a little better than cattle. No wonder Queen Elizabeth didn't want to get married.
Luckily, since nobody knew her, she found it easy to dress up as a boy in disguise. Not being able to work for a lady, she inquires about work at the Duke's estate.
It just so happens that Duke Orsino is head over heels in love with this beautiful one named Olivia. If music be the food of love, play on. Oh, when my eyes see Olivia first, methought she purged the air of pestilence.
Unfortunately, Olivia has no interest in him.
This doesn't stop the Duke. He woos her in every way imaginable. Flowers, chocolates, music, a hug.
This was Duke. And when this cute new kid Viola, who gives herself a manly sounding name, Cesario, comes to work for him, he decides the best way to get Olivia's attention is to send this romantic intermediary in his place.
So he sends Viola?
Yes, he sends Viola, or Cesario.
Flowers, chocolate, music, a hug. What is happening?
Sweet lady.
A comfortable doctrine and much may be said of it. Where lies your text?
In Orsino's bosom.
In his bosom? In what chapter of his bosom?
To answer by the method in the first of his heart.
Oh, I have read it. It is heresy. Have you no more to say?
Madam, let me see your face.
Have you any commission from your lord to negotiate with my face? You are now out of your text, but we will draw the curtain and show you the picture. Look you, sir, such a what I was this present. Is it not well done?
Excellently done. If God did all.
'Tis a grain, sir, 'twill endure wind and weather.
'Tis beauty truly blent, whose red and white nature's own, sweet and cunning hand laid on. Lady, you are the coolest sheet alive. If you will lead these graces to the grave and leave the world no copy.
Oh, sir, I will not be so hard-hearted. I will give out diverse schedules of my beauty. It shall be inventoried in every particle and utensil labeled to my will. As, item, 2 lips in different reds, item, 2 for eyes, with lids to them, item, 1 neck, 1 chin, and so forth. Were you sent hither to praise me?
I see what you are. You are too proud, but if you were the devil, you are fair. My lord and master loves you. Oh, such love could be but recompense, though you are crowned and on peril with beauty.
How does he love me?
With adorations, fertile tears, with thrones that thunder love, with sighs of fire.
Your lord does know my mind. I cannot love him. Yet I suppose him virtuous, know him noble, of great estate, of fresh and stainless youth, in voices well divulged, free, learned and valiant, in a dimension in the shape of nature, a gracious person. But yet I cannot love him. Yet I let him. He might have took his answer long ago.
If I did love you in my master's flame, with such a suffering, such a deadly life, in your denial I would find no sense. I would not understand it.
Why? What would you?
Make me look heaven at your gate, and call upon my soul within the house. Write loyal cantos of contemned love, and sing them out loud even in the dead of night. Hallow your name to the reverberant hills, and make the babbling gossip of the air cry out, Olivia! Oh, you shall not rest between the elements of air and earth, but you shall pity me.
You might do much. What is your parentage?
Above my fortunes, yet my state is well, I am a gentleman.
Get you to your lord. I cannot love him. Let him send no more, unless, perchance, you come to me again to tell me how he takes it. Fare you well. Thank you for your pains. Spend this for me.
I am no free post, lady. Keep your purse, my master, not myself. Last, recompense. Love, make his heart a flint that you shall love, and make your fervor, like my master's, be placed in contempt. Farewell, fair cruelty.
You know what just happened?
No! Well, Viola, also called Cesario, so good at spouting off flowery language that now Olivia is interested in her.
How could you tell that?
It's all in the language, my friend. I can't always understand the language.
Well, couldn't you understand by Olivia's body language?
Not really. You'll learn. Meanwhile, there's a whole other story happening at the same time.
Olivia's uncle, Sir Toby Bell,
And his friend Sir Andrew Aguichi get annoyed at Olivia's manservant Malvolio.
According to Mariah, Olivia's chambermaid, it's because they're causing a ruckus in the middle of the night, which they are.
We're just having a little fun.
Keeping everyone awake? What a caterwauling do you keep here? If my lady had not called her parent steward Malvolio and bid him turn you out of doors, never trust me.
my lady's occasion, we are politicians. Malvolio's a pilgrims, and 3 merry men we be. There's not the man in Babylon, lady.
Beshrew me!
The night's an admirable fooling. He does well enough if he be disposed, and so do I too. He doesn't very rich, but I do it more natural.
Oh, the 12th day of December.
Oh, for the love of God, peace!
My masters, are you mad? What are you? Have ye no wit, manners, nor honest, but gabble like tinkers this time of night? Do ye make an alehouse of my lady's house to squeak out your coziest catches out any mitigation or remorse of voice? Is there no respect of place, person, or time in you?
We did keep time, Senor. Catch you snug up.
Sir Toby, I must be round with you. My lady bade me tell you that she harbors you as her kinsman. She has nothing allied to your disorders. If you can separate yourself and your misdemeanors, you're welcome to the house. If not, I will please you to take leave of her. She is very willing to bid you farewell.
Farewell with your hearts, and I must needs be gone.
Nay, good Sir Toby, Mistress Mary, if you prize my lady's favor at anything more than contempt, you would not give me for this uncivil rule. She shall know it by this hand.
Oh, go shake your ears! But then, Malvolio annoys Mariah too, so they all decide to play a trick on him.
What wilt thou do?
I will drop in his way some obscure epistle of love, written by the color of his beard, the shape of his leg, the manner of his gait, the expression of his eye, forehead, and complexion. He shall find himself most feelingly personated. I can write very like my lady your niece. The forgotten matter, we can hardly make distinction of our hands.
Excellent, small advice. I have it my nose soon. She shall think by the letters that thou shalt drop, and that they come from my niece, and that please in love with him.
My purpose is indeed a horse of that color.
Oh, 'twill be honorable.
Royal, I warrant you. I know my physic will work with him. I will plant you two, and let the fool make a third, where he shall find the letter. For this night, to bed, and dream of the event. Farewell.
So, what happens next?
Well, Viola goes back to the Duke. But guess what?
What?
Viola's starting to fall for the Duke.
If she's dressed up as a boy.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Thou dost speak masterly. My life is but young, though thou art. Thine eyes strayed upon some favor that loves. Have it not, my boy?
A little by your favor.
What kind of woman is it?
Of your complexion.
She is not worthy then. What years I pay?
About your years, my lord.
Too old by heaven. Let still the woman take another than herself. But woman, so where is she to him? So sways she level in her husband's heart. For boy, however do we praise ourselves? Our fancies are more giddy and infirm, more longing, laboring sooner lost in one than woman's are.
I think it will, my lord.
Then let thy love be younger than thyself, or thy affection cannot hold the bent. For women are as roses, whose fair flower being once displayed, doth fall that very hour.
And so they are, alas to die, even when they to perfection grow.
Once more, Cesario, get thee beyond the same sovereign cruelty. Tell her my love more noble than the world. Prizes not quantity of dirty lands, the fortune that fortune hath bestowed upon her. Tell her I hold as Gilead's fortune. But 'tis that miracle and queen of gems that nature pranks her and attracts my soul.
But if she cannot love you, sir,
I cannot be so answered.
sooth you must. Say that some lady, as perhaps said, hath for your love a great pang of heart as you have for Olivia. You cannot love her. You tell her so. Must she not be answered?
There is no woman's sides can buy the being of so strong a passion. As love doth give my heart, no woman's heart, so big to hold so much, they lack retention. Alas, their love may be called appetite, no motion of the liver but the palate that suffers servant, cloyment and revolt, but mine is all as hungry as the sea, and can digest as much. Make no compare between a love a woman can bear me, and that I owe Olivia.
But I know
What dost thou know?
too well what love to women may owe. In faith, they are as true of heart as we. My father had a daughter loved a man. As it might be, perhaps I were a woman, I should, your lordship.
And what's her history?
A blank, my lord. She never told her love, that like concealment, like the worm in the bud, feed on her damask cheek. She pined in thought as she sat with a green and yellow melancholy, smiling at grief. Was this not love indeed? We men say more, swear more, but indeed our shows are more than will, for we still prove much in our vows, but little in our love.
But died thy sister of love, my boy?
I am all the daughters of my father's house, and all the brothers too. And yet I know not. Sir, shall I to this lady?
Aye, that's the theme. To her in haste. Give her this jewel. Say my love give no place by no denay.
So, Viola is starting to fall for the dew.
But you're really wondering what happened to poor Malvolio, aren't you? Not really. Those miscreants, Sir Toby Belch, Sir Andrew Ayushik, and you, Maria the chambermaid, managed to trick my fortunate, unhappy self.
Yeah, he finds the letter from Olivia.
If this fall into thy hand, revolve. In my stars lie above thee, that be not greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them.
He believes that Olivia asked him to do certain things to prove his love.
I do not now fool myself to let imagination jade me. For every reason excites this, that my lady loves me. She had commended my yellow stockings of late. She had praised my legs being cross-gartered, and that she manifests herself to my love, and with a kind of injunction drives me to these habits of her liking. I thank my stars, I am happy I will be strange, stuck in yellow stockings and cross-gartered, evil swiftness of putting on. Jove, my stars be praised.
Olivia thinks he's gone mad. In fact, we managed to get him thrown into the madhouse. It's sad, isn't it? Meanwhile, Sir Andrew Aguichi wants to woo Olivia as well, but he's starting to see Viola or Cesario as a threat, because Olivia, the foolish gal, has gone and fallen in love with Viola, Cesario.
Are not that Lady Olivia's fools? No, indeed, sir. The Lady Olivia has no folly.
You will keep no fool, sir, till she be married.
And fools are like husbands as children are to Harry.
The husbands are bigger,
I am indeed not a fool.
but to corruption of wood. I sounded great at Count Orsino's.
Truly, sir, does walk about the orb like the sun. It shines everywhere.
I'm really sorry, sir, but the foolish of the unoffered that is my mistress. I think I saw your wisdom there. Nay, and thou passest upon me. I'll have no more with thee. Hold, there's expense.
Now Jove, in his next commodity of hair, sends thee a beard.
By my froth, I am almost sick for one, though I would not have it grow on my chin. Is thy lady within? My lady is within, sir. I will construe to her once you come.
who you are and what you would out of my welcome.
I might say element, but the word is overworn.
Where we stand. Duke Orsino is in love with Olivia. Olivia is in love with Viola, and Viola is in love with the Duke.
That is what you call a love triangle. How did they get out of this mess? It just so happens that Viola's identical twin brother washed up on the very same coast, and he's wandering the town looking exactly like Viola.
Looking exactly like Viola?
Exactly. And he gets into a bit of a pickle.
You know that friend of Olivia's uncle, Sir Andrew Aguichi, who is also wooing her? He decides to have a fencing duel with Cesario.
Viola.
To get her to back off, only he's not very good at fencing.
What about Viola? She's a girl. Well, that doesn't mean she couldn't fence, but she really couldn't.
So their sparring match is a disaster. They're both too afraid to fight. The next time this guy sees Viola, he's a little more confident and a little cocky. He thinks it will be easy to take out Cesario.
Viola.
But only he was mistaken because it's not Viola.
Cesario.
Who is it? Sebastian, of course! Who's Sebastian?
Oh, my sweet brother!
Oh, so this is where the mistaken identity comes into play. I was wondering when that would come up.
Boys.
Now, sir, have I met you again? There for you. Why, there's for me, and there, and there, and there! Are all the people mad?
Hold, sir! I'll throw your dagger over the house! Come on, sir! Hold!
Nay, let him alone. I'll go another way to work with him. I'll have an action of battery against him. If there be any law in the ear, though I shook him first, yet it's no matter for that.
Let go thy hand! Come, sir! I will not let you go! Put up your iron! You are well fleshed! Come on, sir! Hold! I will be free from thee! What wilt thou now? If thou darest tempt me further, draw thy sword! What? Nay, that I must have an ounce or two of this metal for blood from you?
Guess who runs into a net? Hold, Toby, on my life I charge thee. Hold,
Madam!
will it ever be thus, ungracious wretch, fit for the mountains in the barbarous cave, where manners near preaching, out of my sight. Be not offended, dear Cesario. Roseby, be gone. I prithee, gentle friend, let thy fair wisdom, not thy passion, sway into this uncivil and thou unjust extent against thy peace. Go with me to my house and hear how many fruitless pranks this ruffian hath botched up, that thou thereby mayst smile indeed. Thou shalt not choose but go. Do not deny. Beshrew his soul for me. He started one poor heart of mine indeed.
What relish is this? How runs the stream? Or I am mad, or else this is a dream. Let fancy still my sins and leave steep. If it be thus to dream, still let me sleep.
Nay, come I prithee, would thou be ruled by me?
Madam, I will.
Oh, say so, ain't so bad. So where does this leave us?
Sebastian and Olivia are married.
But she thinks she's married to Cesario.
Viola.
Cesario.
Still loves Duke Orsino.
The Duke still loves Olivia, and he decides it's time to woo her in person. So he and Viola and his entourage show up at her house.
When Olivia appears, she sees Cesario.
Viola. Whom she thinks is her husband.
Cesario, you did not keep promise with me.
Madam! Gracious Olivia.
What do you say, Cesario? Good, my lord?
My lord would speak.
My duty hushes me.
If it be aught to the old tune, it is as fat and fulsome to mine ear as howling after music.
Still so cruel.
Still so constant, Lord.
I love those lines. Do it again.
Still so cruel. Still so constant, Lord.
I love those lines. Do it again. Still so cruel.
Still so constant, Lord.
I love it.
Quiet!
Come
Those
on.
are some of Shakespeare's famous lines.
The Duke is saying that Olivia is being horrible to him.
And Olivia is saying that her feelings for him haven't changed. She still doesn't like him.
So Duke Orsino starts to leave, and Olivia asks her husband to stay with her.
Duke Orsino flips out. He's ready to strangle Cesario,
Viola.
thinking that she has betrayed him. Then Olivia's uncle, Sir Toby Bell,
And her censor and Chief
Charles claiming that Cesario.
Viola.
beat them up.
Poor Viola. She's getting blamed for
Cesario.
everything. And she didn't do any of it.
Then another guy shows up, and he looks exactly like Viola.
Cesario!
One face, one voice, one habit, two persons, a natural perspective that is and is not.
Most wonderful. How have you made a division of yourself? An apple, clucked in two, is not more twin than these two creatures. Which is Sebastian? Do I stand in there? I never had a brother, nor can it be that dainty in my nature care never. I had a sister, whom the blind waves and surges have devoured. Of charity, what kin are you to me? What countryman? What name? What parentage?
Of Messalene. Sebastian was my father. Such as Sebastian was my brother too. And so he soothed to his watery tomb. Spirits can assume, but form and soothe. You have come to frighten me.
Until they go on and on, taking forever to convince you, Charles, they're actually twins.
Remember that in Elizabethan times the audience wasn't paying much attention.
Shakespeare always had to track on his points. That's a fact.
Finally, Viola admits that she's really Viola, but in disguise.
I admit it. So comes it, lady, open this book. A maid and a man.
Every time Viola talked of love, she was talking over love for him. So the triangle is no more. Duke Orsino loves Viola.
Viola loves Duke Orsino.
Olivia loves Sebastian. Sebastian loves Olivia.
And they all live happily ever after.
Instead, Malvolio.
Malvolio?
Olivia's manservant. He's really angry that he's been poor. And he has a long speech telling everyone how horrible they've been. As he exits the stage, we hear him yell, "Ah!"